Okay, hello. Hello, people. Welcome. And thank you for coming on such a late long night. We really appreciate it. And I hope and pray that you will have a really good evening. And I welcome you to the inaugural, or as I said here, the first Australian Access Awards. So give yourselves a round of applause. And yeah, may I say, you're a very attractive crowd. I'm Helen Errington, for those of you who don't know me, and for those who do, well, I'm sorry. But just a couple of quick housekeeping things before we get underway with our welcome to country. So the toilets are out that door there to your, well, where are you? I don't know. I'm hopeless at reading maps. I can't even follow a GPS. So at that door, down the corridor, to your right of the toilets, and then in the event we may have an emergency, heaven forbid, you go out that same door, past the toilet, and go outside and find a nice safe place where you sit and contemplate where the bomb is. So that's about it. So I would like to now introduce, I've always wanted to do this, I want to be privilege to introduce Mr. Vaughan Maguire to the Welcome Country. So Vaughan, where are you?
It's wonderful to actually met Helen. As I call you guys the family. I actually with an elbow with the other side of town, and I love to get out here all day this year because we've got us black ones, we sweat, we get, sick of the heat. So that's why we want to be around near the waters around this time to cool off and what the earth actually gave us of nature. But back in the days in the dream time, when the earth was actually soft, instead of Karnak and Weathermuffin, which is what it's done, when the earth was soft, that's when the little boy actually befriended a whale. And this evening I'll perform the whale song for you, and also another song which is from Cardiff, Kings Park, and it's of the Travel Spider, and that film is actually being here since the beginning of time with both our stories. So we carry those stories on. In saying so, my name is Vaughan Maguire, Wyatt L. Stack Baptist. My great-great-great-grandmother was born in Queen's Park, Kakara, and when she was born there, they actually saw the sails coming up the river. So then, when they got ready to move out of Queen's Park, they thought it would be a good idea to actually go to Ballabah country, where I was born, a little town called Calabarra. Calabarra has always been sacred to my heart, and it's always been home to me. So when we actually heard that we're coming to a place called Perth, Mordor, we didn't want to leave home, but we didn't realise that we were coming back to our home, the land of our grandmothers and great-grandfathers and stuff. So in doing so, when we came to Perth, my dad actually told us all stories from this region. He was actually born in a town called Ballabah Springs, and so he was born in Ballabah country too, and we came back to home, Wajak country. So we finished to be back here, and I've been here for about 48 years. And, so, you know, I love coming to places like this here and sharing the history and the knowledge of not only my family, but my forefathers and four mothers too. So, but together as we stand as one, many people from many nations from all over the world, on this country we stand as one. So respect each other's culture, language, learn it, and I reckon it would be a better place. So, but anyway, so Monday, wake up with it, so hello and welcome to Wajak country, my country. You're not in what? Your country. So mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers coming to the lands of my parents. So I'm standing here while I'm speaking to you, and you are Yinimija seated. It gives me great pleasure to stand here. First of all, I would ask my grandfathers, and through the songs that I'm going to perform for you, to come up and give blessings to people like Yellow Ponga, Richard Will, great-grandfather Yakin, my grandfather Mullah Harold Stack, and my great-grandfather John Maguire. So when Maguires came in, they were all in Kings Park. It was a place that a lot of old people were born in. The first law grounds actually came from the trees there. And as you walk down towards the fountain down there, that's actually the birthplace where women gave birth. And stuck on the hill, there's an old tree. It's actually marked. It's one of the oldest trees ever marked. No one has a point of time when it was actually marked, but it was, we actually say since the earth was soft, and that's where the sun and the moon kissed just out here. And, it's an actually really lovely story, and but actually just to be born the way that she became friends. So in doing so, I'll first perform I'll keep the whale song, and it goes a little bit like this here. Mawala, mawala, wordy, 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 mawala, mawala, wordy, 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 wordy. Mawala, mawala, wordy, 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 wordy. And then the next song will actually be Capital Spider Removal. This is my favourite because we actually went to so we went over there in 3 days before. 50 to 60,000 people through a day with Arcadia, and the welcome that we had there was absolutely lovely. I wanted to leave the London, but it's too cold for me, so you could tell all us black ones walk around with coats and blankets and everything else. and I walked out of the airport and wanted to walk back in. So my brother laughed and said, "Oh, you know, it was cold the other day," but we went across there and shared our culture, and this song is one of our closely kept songs through our many generations of our family. And because it's from Kings Park, so many of us can only perform it, and when we do perform, it's actually for our grandmothers. Back in the law days, the old days, when the tribes were together and practicing Aboriginal law, Waka people, Yuan people, Balaban people, Napi Napi, we all actually considered our wives and our women to be the most sacred object in our hands because women are the giver of life. And so men actually, when they mark themselves, actually done a lot of different markings all over just to pretty themselves up for the ladies. So to the privileged ladies, but you all are beautiful, and us men too. So, but it goes overseas. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Vaughan, for that beautiful welcome. I would also like to acknowledge that we are standing in Roger in our country, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. So we're going to have a great evening tonight, so I hope you're prepared. And on behalf of the Centre for Accessibility and Data, we welcome you to this night of nights. To find out more about why we're here, I'd now like to introduce you to Dr. Scott Collier.
Well, that's quite a welcome. Thanks very much. I just want to say a big thank you to Helen for doing a wonderful MC tonight, and also just wanted to thank Vaughan for a great welcome to the country. I'd also like to pay my respects to the Wajak people and elders past, present and emerging. So welcome everyone, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is wonderful to be here for our very first Australian Access Awards and to have not only everyone here in Fremantle, Western Australia, but also having people join us through our live stream from across the country. You're very welcome, and it is absolutely fantastic to have you all here this evening. A few months ago, I was contacted by the ABC for an article they were doing, and they asked me, what is it that you as a legally blind person finds difficult to use the internet, and what are some of the issues and barriers that causes? I explained that as someone who is legally blind, some of the challenges I face online include things like not having alternative text on images, having difficult colour contrast, which with my limited vision makes it tricky to see things, and also captures that often stop me dead in my tracks when I'm trying to access things. When that happens, I essentially have two choices. My first choice is to ultimately give up and not be able to do something. The second choice is to recruit my 12-year-old son to come and give me a hand. While he's very happy to help, the upshot is that either or both of those choices result in a loss of independence. The good news is that there is a third option, and that third option is what we're here to celebrate tonight. And that third option is, let's have no barriers at all. Tonight we celebrate the fantastic work being done by individuals and organisations to ensure that people with lived experience of disability have independent access to information, and can't stress that word independence enough. A little bit of background about the Centre for Accessibility and how we came here tonight. This was started early last year by David Bell from Dada, Kenny Rapsey from Media on Mars and myself. We really wanted to look at ways to advocate and promote the importance of digital access. We started the journey by creating an online resource, which is at accessibility.org.au. That's a free resource to help organisations to incorporate accessibility. But we're very keen to see what other things we could do moving forward. So as such, this year we decided to try and start Australia's first dedicated Access Awards. Started with a call for nominations on Global Accessibility Awareness Day back in May, and culminates into tonight's proceedings. It was interesting, when we let you take on something new, sometimes we'll get criticism from places that are unexpected, and sometimes you will get more support than you expect in other corners. And certainly the support for everyone here tonight and also watching online has been overwhelming, and we're very grateful for that fantastic support. Just to touch on the criticism, some of the things that people said when we tried this happen was, firstly, you will never get sponsors because no one cares. You'll never get nominations because again, no one cares. Ultimately, we only support the events that we do, so we're probably not going to support yours. And the one which I was most surprised by was a comment from one person that said, look, most people with disabilities don't know much about that digital access stuff, so why bother? Yes, I had a similar reaction. You indeed. So with that in mind, I only have really two things to say in response to that. The first is, tonight is disability-led, and in fact, anything that the Centre for Accessibility does aims to be disability-led. It's important that people with disability have a say about their own destiny when it comes to digital access, and that there is inclusion all the way around, and that's a really important thing. In 2020, we're going to be continuing to do work for the Centre for Accessibility, and I'd certainly welcome your ongoing support as we look at new and innovative ways to, again, get the message out there and advocate for this space. The second thing I wanted to draw attention to is the amazement of quality of our finalists and indeed winners this evening. We received 71 nominations through this process. Our four judges were just blown away by the volume. They're absolutely. And it's fair to say, the judges indicated that the quality was amazing, and every single one was people and organisations that are dedicated to making their websites and apps accessible, and that is a true testament. So while it is always difficult to get to finalists and ultimately winners, everyone has done an amazing job in making this happen, putting in their nominations. And indeed, if you are an organisation that didn't make the finals, if you didn't put in a nomination this year, some people indicated they were a little scared to do so, please, 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 in our future efforts, put in nominations, keep having a go. We want to celebrate the fantastic work that's being done out there. Another thing that we did a little differently with these awards is often awards are self-nominated, and certainly most of the nominations were self-nominated. But we wanted to make sure, again, being disability-led, that the community had a say about the websites and apps that they found most useful. And indeed, we end up tonight in an interesting situation where in one of our categories, the ABC Triple J app, which was self-nominated, faces off against the ABC News app, which was community-nominated. So we'll find out what the result is shortly, but suffice to say, I think ABC will probably have a good night. So with that in mind, one of the hardest things about awards is what do you give people? It's disability and technology. What to come up with to celebrate the win? Well, we've tried to come up with a few options. So all finalists tonight will be invited to use a digital badge to put on their website or app to indicate that you have been recognised and honoured for the great work that you were doing. And there'll also be for our winners a certificate, which is something great to hang up in that boardroom or somewhere in the office to share the fantastic thing that you've been recognised here tonight. But then we came to the trophy, and what do you do as a trophy? So we sat down to have a think about what are our options, what is tonight really about? At the end of the day, we realised that quite often when it comes to accessibility, it's often put in the negative. It's often about legal compliance, the threat of getting sued, scared of being seen as mean people for not making things accessible, and often it's framed in a very negative, concerned way. But that's not what tonight is about. Tonight is about, it's not about the stick, tonight is about the carrot. Tonight is about incentive, tonight is about reward, tonight is about acknowledging the great work that's being done out there. So therefore, we decided that our award trophy tonight would be a little golden carrot, which is at the back of the room. People who do win leave tonight can collect their carrots coming back. So you will have that certificate to have that more formal recognition, but it's our hope that you can, if you are a winner tonight, you can put your carrot on your desk and smile at a job well done. So look, that's pretty much it from me. Just before I do step down, I just want to say a few thank yous. Firstly, thank yous to our sponsors. We have many sponsors who have been involved tonight. Department of Communities has been a major sponsor, and also there are some displays around the venue here this evening. With PIT and Visibility have in particular got some things on display, and certainly I'll encourage you, if you do come across a sponsor tonight, please thank them for their great work. I'd also like to acknowledge the 7-member judging panel from across the country that brought independence and integrity to this process. As I mentioned before, it was a tough slog for them with the amount of nominations, and also trying to pick winners from the great pool of nominations. So thank you, judges. And again, if someone mentions they're a judge, please thank them again. And finally, just coming back to my own team and the Centre for Accessibility, on the Dada side, I'd like to say a special thanks to Jackie, who prepared the speech this evening, and I'm sure you'll agree, has done an incredible job in 40-degree heat to I'd also like to acknowledge David Allison, also from Dada, and on the media from Mars side, I'd like to acknowledge Shannon, Kate, and Tammy, who did all the digital comms, the website. I'm sure they've crossed paths with you with the ticketing and all the digital comms. So thank you very much to everyone that has made this possible. So that's it for me. I'll be back again later to present the award, but otherwise, have a good night, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bob. Great job, as usual. Now, look, I'll just wait for Scott gets back in his I'm glad it's at the front for you, though. I don't want to bring politics into it, although it's not happening. So I thought I'd give a little speech on where I stand. No, not really, just joking. So, I just want to let you know that the Honourable and gorgeous Stephen Dawson, Minister for Disability, officially launched the Centre for Accessibility last year in the same place. He was disappointed not to be able to make the awards tonight, but he sent this wonderful video, so we're now going to play that.
Good evening. I'm Stephen Dawson. Thanks to everyone in attendance for your efforts in prioritising and implementing accessibility. Congratulations to all the finalists and winners at tonight's Centre for Accessibility Awards night. I wish I could have been there with you in person to celebrate and congratulate everyone, but I couldn't make it. You are the first set of winners of Accessibility Awards, and I hope that by acknowledging your contribution, it will encourage other organisations to take the lead with accessibility. As Minister, I'm delighted to see this working in the quantity and calibre of nominations coming through. Accessibility is evolving all the time, so I'm pleased these awards are about encouraging action and rewarding effort rather than the expectation of perfection or penalising lack of action. The awards have also been a great initiative in bringing the accessibility and disability communities together. The fact that tonight is driven by people with disability is an encouraging sign of true collaboration. It is exciting to have had such a huge response to the awards from a wide range of sectors, including big business, not-for-profit, education, and individuals. To have nominations from the likes of Coles, Getty, ANZ, the ABC, and many more is a great result in the awards' first year. It is also great to see the community come together to get behind these fabulous awards. They would not have been possible without the support provided by sponsors and without active participation from the community. I would also like to acknowledge the contributions of Dr. Scott Hollier. The Centre for Accessibility was lucky to have Scott at the helm. Scott's positive approach has inspired and educated thousands of people about the importance of accessibility, sharing his personal story and demonstrating how he uses accessible technology in his work and personal life gives people a rare view into what accessibility is and how important it is. The initiative of the Accessibility Awards fits with his positive, proactive approach to accessibility by leading with the carrot of awards while looking threat of legal action in non-compliance. Congratulations again to everyone involved, particularly our winners, and have a fantastic night.
Back to me. So I would now like to introduce the first presenter, Laura Bull. Laura is a young deaf and disability advocate, project manager, public speaker, educator, and artist. I don't know where she gets the time. But her work includes managing Disability Pride 2019 through the Youth Disability Advocacy Network, facilitating the youth sector of COMHWA's Mental Health Conference 2019 and the Lives We Lead project. So please put your hands together and give a big welcome to Laura Bullock.
Thank you. It is nice to be here. Thank you very much for having me. So as Scott has already explained, the Australian Access Awards recognise excellence in the field of digital accessibility. So the first award to be presented tonight is the Not-for-Profit or Community Website of the Year, sponsored by Visibility. And the finalists are, we have North Perth Community Garden, Product Action Inc. and Attitude Foundation. And our lucky winner tonight is North Perth Community Garden.
Thank you. Well, I think the members of North Perth Community Garden have greatly appreciated a golden parrot. I have to say, just looking at them, I suspect a lot of our parrots aren't so classically shaped. But I'd also like to acknowledge everybody who works at North Perth Community Garden as a volunteer. We have no paid staff of any sort, and that includes our website, the person who is standing over there, or sitting over there. It is all done on a volunteer basis, and he does spend a lot of time working on our website, and he is passionate about accessibility and digital accessibility in form, basically, but particularly digital accessibility. So thank you very much. We feel very honoured, and I think I've used my 30 seconds.
So much. So our next award is the Not-for-Profit or Community Act of the Year. And finally, we have Sensorium Theatre, Be My Guide, and the Second Act. And the winner is Sensorium Theatre.
Thanks very much to Scott and all the members of the Centre who have encouraged us all. We'd really like to especially thank our wonderful audiences who inspired us to make this app, their families, carers, teachers who gave us plenty of feedback along the way. Our incredible creative coder, a genius, Steve Berwick, who responded to all that feedback that we kept giving him. And our wonderful producer, Cecile Lucas from Performing Lines WA, who managed a bunch of creatives responding to all that feedback for 3 years to get this app up and running. So we're just really grateful to be, I guess, advancing the cause led by our audience. And thank you to all of you.
Congratulations again. So our next award is Government Website of the Year, sponsored by WebPIT. And finalists are help the Victorian Government and the Online Accessibility Toolkit from the South Australian Government. And the winner is the Online Accessibility Toolkit from the South.
Seconds, let's see how we go. Look, I think this award doesn't happen by one person, one group, or one organisation. We're really lucky that as government, we realise that government services aren't for some big, they're for everyone. We need to make them accessible, and government has a real leadership position to take that way. We created a policy which was for government to create better digital services, and very quickly realised that government has a role in making sure all organisations who are creating digital things need to make sure they're accessible for everyone. Congratulations to Cliff Edwards, who is the product manager and the lead driver behind our accessibility policy. Thank you to Squiz, who are our online partner, who have delivered as well. And thank you to the community, who are so welcoming, who have been really honest in giving us feedback to make sure that the policy and the toolkit we provided are going to make real change for people who need accessibility. Thank you very much.
Congratulations again. So our next award is the Government Act of the Year, the big ABC award. So our finalists are ABC Today and ABC News App. So, and the winner is ABC for the News App.
Thank you very much, everybody involved, Centre for Accessibility staff. It's an honour to be up here. It's also an honour to be part of the ABC, where access to information, entertainment is designed for all Australians. And that's something that we take very seriously, very much to heart at everything we do and everything that we create at the ABC. Accessibility, or I prefer to say inclusion, is it's something that falls to everybody involved, from product owners to content creators, through to developers and designers and all streams, and everybody involved in the creative process. And I'm honoured to be amongst people who take inclusion as seriously as I do, and I'm humbled by their approach every day. So thank you very much, everybody involved. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, everybody at the ABC. You've done amazing stuff.
Thank you. Congratulations to ABC. That's all from me.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for presenting. Now I'd like to welcome our next presenter to the stage, Justin Brown. Justin works at Edith County University as the Associate Dean, Teaching and Learning for the School of Science. Justin has had an interest in digital accessibility since 2010 and has researched and supervised a number of PhDs in the area. In a more practical way, Justin tries to impart accessibility awareness to his university colleagues, students, and pretty much anyone who will listen, and anyone who won't listen as well. Having lived with physical disability since very early childhood, Justin has a lived experience of the real meaning of equity and accessibility. Please put your hands together and welcome Justin.
Thanks to everyone, and thanks to Scott and the rest of the audience for asking me to be here tonight. Okay, so the next award is Accessibility Educational Website of the Year, and the finalists college, thrive at work, and Waiawa Special Education Centre. And the winner is Shenton College.
I'm good, sorry.
Yeah.
I would like to say significant very much, thank you very much to everyone in the community for recognising our school and our website, particularly the organisers of the awards, to Media Online for seeing the potential in our school and for helping us along the journey. I think as a public school, we recognise that inclusion is just absolutely vital to what we do, and that we have a responsibility not just to our community but also to our students to show them what we value. Learning happens in many ways, not just in the classroom, and I think the most public fronting artifact that we have should be as inclusive as possible. So we're very proud to be here. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now it comes to the Educational Accessibility Act of the Year, and the two nominees are LRB Calculator and Top UE. And the winner is Top UE.
Oh, I've got to regret. Yeah, thank you so much for this award. We appreciate it. I'm sort of the outsider, I think, here in this community. I sit in the office on my own, and by myself, looking at these sorts of apps that are going to help people who have disabilities really in the world and in your community. So what we've done at the moment really is an education app. So it's intended for kids at school, to help kids who have got reading and learning difficulties. But I see a wider focus for it, that it can come out into the community where it is appreciated. But more than that, is that these awards, I've been realised that until tonight, open the window to the authorities, to the government authorities, to give them an idea of how perhaps a simple minor app can influence so many people and allow them to be in the community. So I really appreciate this award, and thank you very much. Thank you very much to everybody who made this possible.
Okay, so the next prize is the Accessibility Corporate Website of the Year. The finalists are Pulse Online Shopping, Guides the Site, Webkey IT, and the winner is Pulse Online Shopping.
Thank you. So I'm here representing the city of Melbourne. They're extremely proud. I was talking to Elizabeth Douglas, who's a GM Platforms, and the team were just thrilled to be nominated to start with. They worked so hard on improvements for the business, and to go back and say that one, they'll be over the moon. As a business, we're really dedicated to improve accessibility for all our customers, so this is a great step forward for us. Thank you.
So the Accessibility Corporate App of the Year is up next, and the two finalists are Humdrum and ANZ Australia. And the winner is ANZ.
you here tonight, so no problem, click the video and I'll invite us twice. Thank you.
We're really thrilled to have won the 2019 Australian Access Award. Thank you so much to the Centre for Accessibility. We're really proud of ANZ for our work in accessibility, which ranges back to a plan we've had for over 12 years. This award belongs to the people who have collaborated and worked hard to make this possible. It belongs to them. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we're at the final award before we have our entertainment up on stage. So basically this is, so we have the Accessibility Initiative of the year, sponsored by Aussie Way, and the final star, Accessible Telecom, a nationwide disability telecommunications information and referral service, or ACAN. Online accessibility toolkit from the South Australian Government, and SECA app by SECA. And the winner is the online accessibility app of the South Australian Government.
We're going to face for radio, so being low is not a bad thing. I guess just to extend the importance of the work that we've done. The digital divide is growing day by day. Those who know digital, who use it, who are native, are powering ahead. And for those who maybe don't have the accessibility that they need, we fear that they fall behind. We have a real responsibility to make sure that we are doing our part to make sure that services, and those who often need government services, are those who maybe have challenges, accessibility needs, or need inclusion. And so for us, to kind of be acknowledged like this is huge by a community that's so passionate about it. So thank you as a community, because I guarantee that people here do this because they're passionate. People do this because they want to make a change. They're not doing it because of huge pay packets, and they're not doing it because of a corporate reason, other than the great businesses that have been acknowledged. So I guess for me, one thing I just wanted to note is that we're really humbled at the moment. Tomorrow I'm going to be in Sydney. We're a finalist for the Australian Human Rights Awards for this policy and toolkit. And the reason I say that is absolutely not to big note ourselves. But what I say that is because we feel really proud that we're able to bring online accessibility to a human rights level, to be noticed, to be acknowledged, and hopefully be awarded in this prize. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Centre for Accessibility, and thank you everyone for your attendance. What a great evening, what a great celebration. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Justin. Great job. And a huge congratulations to the finalists and the winners. So another big round of applause for all of us. In a few moments, we'll be hearing from Playtime with Grayson Fergus before the last three major awards of the evening will be presented. Grayson Fergus belongs to the Sunday Afternoon Collective. Their work features the best ever, never heard songs, which we will shortly hear performed live. I'm glad they'll be live. Looks good. I always love that one, you know, of their lives, you know. Fergus also moonlights in the gold record-winning Eskimo Joe and Little Birdie, and he is joined by award-winning mezzo-soprano Grace King. So please give him a big, well, I won't say warm to bloody hot, a big hot welcome to the stage. Welcome, Grace Fergus.
I don't actually have mine. Oh, there we go. Now I do. Hi, everybody. My name is Grace, and I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we are meeting on today, the land of the Watarkaniwak people, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. This is my friend Curtis Beasy, and this is an excerpt from the show Playtime, which was first performed at Free World 2019.
Which is some of the better reality songs as well as popular songs, reimagined piano.
Playtime is a celebration of ability and is an intimate, uplifting, and funny musical journey, exploring universal themes of life and love, and featuring songs by Metallica, U2, The Velvet Underground, Regina Spektor, Little Birdie, Rihanna, and more. For those of you who don't know, this is a gold record awarded multi-talented musician who has performed with both Little Birdie and Esther Joe.
Thank you, Grace, and I totally agree with you. Stage debut that you have a fabulous vocal range, superb voice.
Rehearsing every Sunday afternoon, Fergus and I have become really good friends. I would love to sing with Fergus more, but Fergus loves playing his guitar the most, and I would find it too difficult to find his little pick.
You didn't say pick.
We sincerely aim to entertain performing songs whilst evoking dreams of present loves or memories of lovers past and lost. The first song we're going to perform is Us by They made a statue of us and put it on the mountain top. Now tourists come and stare at us. Love bubbles with their gum, take photographs for fun, have fun. They'll name a city after us. And then they'll say it's our fault. And they'll give us a talking to. And then they'll give us a talking to. 'Cause they've got experience. Tennessee. Rummaging for answers in the pages. Tennessee, and it's contagious, and it's contagious, and it's contagious, and it's contagious. They made a statue of us. They made a statue of us. The tourists come and stare at us. The sculptors understand about us. They made a statue of us. They made a statue of us. Our noses have become too Tennessee, rummaging for answers in the pages. Tennessee has contagious, it's contagious, and it's contagious, and it's contagious. Passion, originality, and how honest expression can first be celebrated and then scorned if it questions who does it for him. Our next song, most of you should know. I hope you enjoyed our interpretation of Metallica's Nothing Else Matters. So, no matter how far, couldn't be much more from where just who we are, and nothing else matters. Never care for what they do, never care for what they know, and I know. So myself this way, let me just live our way. All these words I want to say, but nothing else matters. Just I see, and I'll find in you. Every day for something new. Open my heart, different view. And nothing else matters. Never get the things you say. Never get the things you say. Never get the what they do. Never get the what they know. So close, no matter how far, couldn't be much more from the heart, or just who we are. No, nothing else matters. Excellent. This is our final song. Even if you don't believe in love, you're going to love this song. So please enjoy our reworking of Every Breaking Way by U2. Every breaking wave on the shore tells the next one there'll be one more. And every gambling goes what you're really there for. So I was listening. Now I speak into an saxophone. Every fall we gonna breathe until we hit along. You go your way, now you're mine. Are we so helpless against the tide? Every turn of the street goes with love defeat. Are we ready to be swept off our feet? start chasing every breaking wave. Every sailor knows that the sea is full of rain and wind. And every shipwreck soul nobody else will go out to the sea. I thought I heard the captain's voice. It's hard to discern what it means. Carry far away on the shore. It's as far as I can reach. You if you go your way, not go mine. We so helpless against the tide. Every time we street, lost in love defeat. Are we ready to be swept off our feet and stop chasing every breaking wave? Drowning into the sea. You know that my heart is the same place that yours has been. We know that you feel me. So be it before we begin. Before we begin. If you go, your way, not mine. And we are we so helpless against the tide? Every time we street, knows the pain of the defeat. Are we ready to sweat our feet and stop chasing every breaking wave? Thanks, guys. Big congratulations to all the
Come on. Yeah, we're back. Look, I'm depressed. I tell you, I am so depressed. I'm giving up singing and playing the guitar. That was just too good. So thank you, Grayson, for this. I'm blown away. So the final three categories of the evening are our Hall of Fame categories. So a short explanation of the categories. Okay, who's Hall of Fame? Scott. Welcome, Scott, again, please, people.
True. All right. So this, as Helen, this brings us to our 3 big awards for the evening. And the first is recognising an individual or organisation that has done particularly good work in this space. So the background is that we opened up a call for nominations. We opened up a call for nominations so that everyone had a chance to put forward names of people or organisations they felt were doing a particularly good job in this space. Yeah, there's different people, both in terms of the nominations of AFSCME websites that included the option of nominations. Also, people just directly nominate people that they thought were doing really, really good work. So we received 14 individuals through the nominations process. I'm a bit moved by our last actor. And it was a difficult job, but we brought it down to 3 based on the volume of nominations and also based on the comments that were in those nominations. So the 3 people that we recognise tonight in our finalists are Jane Ross from Gatsby, Jan Wild from Accessibility Oz, and Jerry Newman from the ABC. Just to briefly share a little bit about each person, just so you know a little bit of the background. Jane from Gatsby, the comments that we received recognise Jane for her amazing contribution to Gatsby, ensuring that they have a great website, not only supporting clients, but also receiving recognition from the West Australian Government as a source of best practice. So we recognise Jane as having done amazing work, not just internally to the Digital Government Agency, but also great work in terms of that recognition throughout the West Australian Government. Thank you, Jane. The second person recognised tonight, Jan Wild. Jan is very well known in the accessibility space. Jan contributed to the first version of the W3C's Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, which is what we often use to determine the accessibility of websites. Jan also, a few years ago, introduced and presented about digital access to the United Nations, and also has a well-established company in this field. So, Jan, great finalist. Thank you. And third, Jerry, we've already seen Jerry's work in action tonight with the great work happening at the ABC. The comments we received is that Jerry is at the forefront of making sure that our national broadcast is accessible. Also, Jerry received acknowledgement for his great work in the Aussieway conference last year. For those who aren't aware, Aussieway is a national conference. It travels around Australia, and it's actually in Perth in February, which is very exciting. So you should definitely all get along to that. But the ABC hosted it last year under Jerry's guidance. So both in terms of the broadcaster work and also through the national conference, we recognise Jerry tonight. So for our inaugural accessible person of the year, it goes to Jan Wild.
Oh my Lord, thank you so much. This means so much to me, and I'd just like to say thank you to Scott and everyone else who's been awarded and also finalists or nominated. I spoke to someone earlier this year about accessibility and how we don't necessarily get awarded things, we don't get told that we're doing a good job. Basically, we're kind of like mechanics. No one calls up a mechanic and says, hey, my car's really doing great, thanks so much. We kind of only hear things when things go wrong. And I think it's really important that everyone knows that you are really making a difference. If you look at things like, say an example like nuclear disarmament, the reason why Dr. Spock convinced JFK to disarm the US nuclear arms is because he saw a bunch of housewives just basically protesting in the rain outside the White House. And so the reason why we live in a safe society now is because of those housewives, and we're all housewives here. helping people, and one of the things I talked about in the UN was how 47% of people who died in the Black Saturday bushfires in Victoria were people with disabilities, and it wasn't actually mentioned in the Royal Commission at all. And we see with the fires in Sydney and the floods that natural disasters just going to get worse and worse. And the work that you're doing, especially during the ABC, you know, it's going to actually save lives. So no one may actually thank you except for things like this. So thank you, Scott. But please do feel like you're making a difference. Thank you.
Okay, so that's my great pleasure to introduce to you Senator Jordan Steele-John. And he's here tonight to, and we're honoured to have him, by the way, I forgot to say it. Jordan, I'm honoured, sorry. We're honoured, and we welcome you. And Jordan will present the last two final events. So please give a big round of applause for
so much, Helen. I'll just check my smart driving off so that I don't go flying off the end of the stage. It is a pleasure to be here this evening. Thank you to Scott and everybody that has done such incredible work to make this event happen. It's great to acknowledge that we are meeting, of course, the lands of the Noongar people, pay respect to our elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. To champion accessibility and inclusion, as we all in this room here do, is to take a position, to take a leading role in nothing less than one of the great cultural revolutions of our time. That revolution for disability rights, for the rights of disabled people to be recognised, supported and celebrated in every corner of our society, no matter who we are, no matter who we love, or how much we earn, or where we live. It is a transformational, radical position today. It is to recognise that the barriers that we face as disabled people, no matter what form they may shape, whether they exist in the physical world, whether they exist online, that the source of those barriers are not with us as disabled people, but are in fact created and sustained by the discriminatory thought processes and patterns that still exist within our societies, to recognise that it is on all of us, to work collectively together to tear down those barriers, to break down those walls, and create a society and a future where we are all able to participate, all able to reach our goals, all able to live a life with dignity and meaning and fulfillment. That is what accessibility is about, that is what inclusion is about, and that is fundamentally what we celebrate when we celebrate the work that is being done in this space. As we do so, it is so important to remember that while the act of making something accessible and inclusive does bear wonderful fruits in the areas of innovation and gifts to the entirety of our community, benefits that we all share in, it is also so important to remember that accessibility and inclusion is a fundamental right. And it is never okay, no matter the excuse or the reason, to violate the ability of somebody to access, include, participate in a space. And whenever we are faced with reasons why that is okay, we must join arms together and push back and assert the right of all people everywhere to participate, to be included, to live life on their terms in their time, as is all of our rights as human beings, fellow human beings, sharing this one blue planet. Now, with that said, it gives me great pleasure to look down at this piece of paper and read off the right name so that we don't have a La La Land moment at the very first accessibility award. I don't think Scott will invite back if that happens. All right, flipping on the page. Okay, it gives me great pleasure, first of all, to present these two awards at this first ever Australian Access Awards. I would like to congratulate all the finalists, participants and winners of the awards presented by the Centre for Accessibility. And now we pause for dramatic effect and we come to the Accessible Web App of the Year. And the finalists are the ABC News app, the CommuEd, folks at CommuEd, and of course the ANZ Australia folks. And the winner is, anyone want to do a dramatic drum roll, stamping noise? There we go, you can do it. The winner is the ABC News app. What a night for public broadcasting.
We've got a carrot off the back anyway.
Wow, what can I say? Thank you very much. The guys, the team back at home, Jay Gray, our product designer, all of the developers involved in creating the app and managing the app, the people who put so much effort into the content. We talk about accessible images. We talk about writing alt text for images. This is something that we've been doing now for a long time. We are way beyond all of that, and I'm so excited. I always get so excited when people come to me and ask, what can we do better? How can we go about making this interactive story? How can we make that available to everybody? And we piece by piece go through the whole thing, and it's so exciting to see so many people get involved in it. The product manager, everybody involved in it. I'm honoured to be part of this team. The ABC News app has so much to be proud of, but accessibility, inclusion is not a destination, it's a journey. That's where we should always think about it. We'll never be there. In the same way that usability is never achieved, it's a work in progress. And we're honoured to be part of that journey. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. All right, we come to the final award of the night, Accessible Website of the Year. And the finalists are the Online Accessibility Toolkit from the South Australian Government, Coles Online Shopping, and Shenton Park College. Can I get another drum roll, please? And the winner is Shenton Park College.
I'm gobsmacked. Thank you so much. Like I said, we're a school just down the road on the train line. We are absolutely honoured to be recognised by this community. It means an awful lot to a lot of people at the school. I'd once again like to thank the organisers for tonight and for the team at Peter and Mars for working with us on our website and for being part of that journey. We're constantly looking at ways that we can do things better and make our school and every aspect of our school as inclusive and as responsive to our community as possible. I'm blown away. Thank you very much.
All right, now hand you back into the good hands of Helen.
Thank you very much. Just before you go,
yes.
can I just ask, question of you?
Yes, of course.
Have your spoke screen for a purpose?
Yeah, well, they were a little bit of a giveaway as far as any persuasion, yes.
Very nice, I like that.
Definitely not blue.
I just went to go down the slide.
Back into the audience.
Woo-hoo! Quite fun. Brings out the kid in me. Okay, so look, that's the end of the winners and the finalists. So I'd like to thank Scott very much for, organising and being part of this, or being the director of the Accessibility Australia, and Senator Steele John for his participation. I'd like to thank the finalists, the winners, and I'd like to thank Dana, our gracious host tonight, and all the founding partners of the Centre for Accessibility. That's what I'm at, the Centre for Accessibility. Scott. Thanks as well to the organisers, volunteers, signers, and product production and catering teams. I'm getting a bit hot up here. I'm starting to fade. These awards have been generously supported by our sponsors, Visibility, Aussie Way, Cahoots, and WebPIT. Thank you so much to our sponsors as well. So, and thank you to you guys for coming tonight on, like I said, such a hot evening. I hope you've enjoyed yourself and had a good time and had some drinks and some eats. So I'm going to get off the stage now, as most people would love me to do, so I'm going to exit, and then I'd like to invite the finalists, the winners, and the presenters onto the stage for a photo. And meanwhile, I will ask that our guests still enjoy some drinks and some eats to back to the room. So thank you very much, and I trust that it's been a wow night for you. It certainly has for us. Thank you.